In today's Reddit cheating story, OP is sent an anonymous message, a message warning him about his wife's connection with a co-worker. When their relationship starts to break down, he's fearful that she's leaving him for another man. But is this true? Or is he being fed a lie by a bitter person who has a grudge against his wife? To find out how this story ends, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
My wife, Sam, who's 36, and me, who's 40, have been together for 5 years, and last year we got married. We've definitely had our ups and downs, but we're generally happy together. On Friday, she went out with people from her work for Christmas drinks and got home around midnight absolutely hammered. When she got in, she just said that she had a good time, then went straight to bed. Yesterday, I got a message on Instagram from an anonymous account, claiming to be one of her colleagues, saying she'd been flirting all night with a guy called Tom from the office, and they'd left together at about 9 p.m. to walk to the train station. This colleague who messaged me had a few more drinks, then went to the station herself, which is when she saw my wife walking hand in hand with the guy she left with. It was around 10:45 p.m., and they had no idea that they were being watched. Last night, I showed my wife the message and asked for an explanation, but she claimed to be so drunk that she doesn't remember anything that happened after 8 p.m. I asked if she went somewhere with Tom after they left the group, and she checked the location history on her phone, which confirmed that they went to a bar near the station for about an hour. She gave me her phone and insisted that I check it, and there were no suspicious messages or anything. And as far as I could tell, she doesn't have Tom's number in her phone, and they're not following each other on Instagram or friends on Facebook. We continued to have a conversation, which went a little something like this.
Were you flirting with him that night?
We were talking all night, but that's only because he's the only person at work that I have anything in common with. I've told you about him before. We're just friends, and there wasn't any flirting.
But I was told that you were holding his hand. Is that true?
I don't remember, but I don't think so.
Look,
I know who sent you those messages. It's a woman in the office who hates me, but honestly, I have no idea why.
Today, she's been in a terrible mood, and we've not really spoken, but this is where we are. I'm not sure what to think. Is this a big red flag?
This whole thing sounds super sus to me. Funnily enough, her not having any messages from this guy on her phone isn't strange to me, as 2 people at a place I worked at had an affair. But during that affair, they never spoke outside of work and would hook up during lunch or at work events. While it wasn't a long-lived thing, they were able to get away with it. So if I had to guess, there's definitely something going on between OP's wife and this guy. And since OP was kind enough to give us an update, maybe we can learn more from this whole thing.
Sam came home from work on Monday and casually said that she'd spoken with Tom. But let me break down for you how this conversation went.
I had a chat with Tom today, and he said that we didn't hold hands. We just walked arm in arm because I was drunk and struggling in my heels.
If that's the case, why did Helen, your colleague, create an Instagram account, track me down, and message me saying that she saw you both holding hands?
Because she's basically in love with Tom. She even made a pass at him just after his divorce, but he rejected her.
Really? So why does Helen feel threatened by you? She must have saw something.
Because she's friends with Tom, and she's a jealous bitch. Isn't it obvious from her Instagram message?
Still, why did you go for a private drink with Tom?
We were just walking, and we passed a bar that had an amazing live band playing, so we stopped for a drink. I just wish that I hadn't had so many shots and got so drunk.
The next day, she went shopping after work and came home with a new dress. And when I asked what the occasion was, she said it was for her work Christmas party, and that last week was just drinks with people from the office. The company Christmas party was on Friday, and apparently she'd mentioned this to me before. I hardly slept that night, and the next day, I decided to reply to the Instagram message to get some more information. I messaged Helen saying,
Do you think anything's going on with them?
They flirt at work, and everyone's noticed. Sam was actually going to be let go, but Tom put in a good word for her and saved her job. He protects her in the office and always defends her. Also, the way Sam bitches about you makes it look like you don't have a happy marriage.
I see. Are you going to the Christmas party?
Yeah, I am. I'll update you if anything happens.
Sam finished work early on Friday, so she had time to get ready. She looked amazing, and I really didn't want her to go, but I felt like I couldn't say anything. I got an Instagram message from Helen around midnight saying that Sam and Tom hadn't interacted at the party, but that people from the office decided to leave and go to a different bar. They all left just before 11 p.m. and were at the new bar 10 minutes later, but Sam and Tom turned up just before midnight. Sam got home just after 2 in the morning, not quite as drunk as last time, but she went straight to sleep. During this time, I pretended to be fast asleep, and when I got the chance, I looked at the location history on her phone. After leaving the venue, she took a 3-mile detour to a residential street, stayed for half an hour, then went to the bar. I sent the address to Helen, but she didn't reply until the next morning, which is when she told me it was Tom's place. When Sam woke up, I asked her straight out,
Sam, did you cheat on me with Tom last night?
No, how could you even ask me that?
Look, I know you went to Tom's house, so don't lie to me.
Are you spying on me now? Why do you have to be so controlling? Forget it. I'm going to stay with my sister.
I want to know what's going on. Tell me right now.
Nothing! We just went back to his place for a smoke before going to the bar.
After that, she stormed out and wouldn't reply to my messages or answer my calls all day on Sunday. I called her sister, who said that she hadn't seen her, but she texted me later saying that she'd spoken to Sam and she was okay. Sam came home yesterday morning and I asked where she'd been, but she responded saying that she couldn't do this anymore and wants a divorce. She went to start packing some clothes while I tried to get her to talk to me, asking if she was leaving me for Tom. She once again denied that anything inappropriate happened between them, but said my jealousy was the final straw, and it's clear that I don't trust her. She carried on to say that I'm controlling, take her for granted, and she's been deeply unhappy for a while. So she's gone, and it looks like I'll be spending my first Christmas alone. I have no idea if she was telling the truth or if she had an affair, but weirdly enough, I'm not feeling too bad today, so maybe this is for the best.
The longer this story goes on, the more likely it seems that OP's wife and this Tom guy have something going on. However, the story isn't quite done yet, as we have a final update from OP that should wrap this whole thing up.
Once she was gone, she blocked me on all her social media and refused to return my messages or answer my calls. I ended up traveling to the other side of the country to spend Christmas with my parents, and on Christmas Eve, Sam came home to take more of her stuff. I watched her on our security cameras and tried calling her, but she ignored me. Christmas wasn't great, and my parents were both shocked and in denial about what happened. They had no idea that we were having issues and insisted that Sam would come to her senses and return home, but I had to let them know that she met someone else. I went home on the 27th, and I'd been getting sporadic updates from Sam's sister letting me know that she's all right, but without any other details. Before all this happened, we'd made plans to spend New Year's Eve at Sam's favorite bar in the city, but I was there on my own as she didn't show up. On the Tuesday night, I got an Instagram message from Helen saying that Sam and Tom arrived at work together, but I didn't bother replying. And on the Wednesday night, she sent another message saying that Sam was poisoning the office against her, and that Tom was pushing upper management to transfer her to another office or to get rid of her entirely. Helen begged me to do something, so I messaged Sam saying that we needed to talk, but she didn't reply. The next day, I called her work switchboard, gave a fake name, and was put through to her. I could tell she wasn't happy to hear my voice, but she agreed to meet me after work at a local pub so we could talk. I got there early, and she arrived 25 minutes late.
I'm so sorry for ignoring your calls. I still care about you, and I want us to end things on good terms.
Please, Sam, just tell me the truth. What's going on?
I wasn't having an affair with Tom, if that's what you're asking. We're just friends. Yes, we talk a lot at work, but we weren't having an emotional affair. I get why you were suspicious of me after getting those messages from Helen, but you should have trusted what I was telling you. I have a lot of guy friends, but I never hang out with them because you'd get jealous.
I've never told you not to hang out with anyone.
But you were always in a mood whenever I spent time with a guy friend, and to be honest, we only got married to try and fix a relationship that was already broken.
Fine, but what's this I heard about you and Tom arriving at work together?
I went to his place after you accused me of cheating because, honestly, I knew it was over between us. We spent the weekend together, and we might even make a better couple than we did. I need you to know that nothing happened between us before I said I wanted a divorce. But now we're together, and I'm glad you can hear it from me before seeing it on social media.
Tom was waiting outside for her in the car, and all I could do was stand up and walk out. She messaged me saying that she knew I was upset, but not to do anything stupid, after which I blocked her number. I'm not going to lie, it was a rough night, and the next day I was just numb. Over the weekend, I dug out our marriage certificate so I can start the divorce proceedings, and I don't know what to say to Helen, so I haven't replied. I think the plan now is to find a new job closer to my hometown as I moved across the country to live with Sam, and I've never really felt settled here. I also don't want to run into her and Tom.
I'm 99% sure that she slept with Tom long before she said that she wanted a divorce, and even if she didn't, things were heading that way. There was definitely an emotional connection there, seeing that they got together so fast. I mean, he was the first person she went to when she left the house. Friendships don't evolve into romantic relationships that fast, so I have no faith in anything she said during their final meetup. This must have been a very tough road for OP. But again, it's a prime example as to why confronting a cheater is a waste of time, because they'll always lie and gaslight you until you have absolute proof of their activities. Hopefully, though, OP will be able to move on and heal from all this in time, and with any luck, find someone worthy of building a life with. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.